Welcome to God and Games Podcast. I am your host, Derek. I appreciate you hanging out. So let's talk about it. So, I know plenty of times in my life where I've just had these panic situations, these stressful storms in my life. And it seems like these situations would just go on and on and on. And just as like getting over one, here comes another one. And it just gets exhausting. And for a long time, I would just have these struggles, just trying to deal with stuff. And as I got older, I would tell my little one, I said, listen, in a situation, the best thing to do is don't panic. Always stay calm. Like we love watching those bootleg, made in a weekend sci-fi movies. They're just horrible, but they're entertaining. We just love watching them, and they're those sci-fi disaster movies, kind of off-brand. And we watch those, and we see, all these disasters go on, and we just kind of talk about them, and laugh at them. And I remember just all the time, just reminding her, look, just stay calm in a situation. People are gonna be running crazy, doing crazy stuff, just panicking. Stay calm. Look for the best exit, the safest plate route out, to safety. And, just going through my life, I can look back and understand I have never done that. Well, I don't know, maybe there was one or two times that I can think of that something jumped off and I just remained calm and I didn't panic. Like, I come from a background of just living with no capacity, always geared up, fight, flight, freeze mode. Just, I don't know, that's just been my history that I'm trying to overcome. And so, when you know people that may be in the same place as you want to try to help them out because of what you've been through. So you give them, you give them the advice that you should be giving yourself. You could probably do better helping other people than you do yourself. That's been my story. But so after a while of these storms coming, I started to learn that if I learn to just really force myself to stay at peace and at rest in those moments, I can get out quicker. But it reminds me of a famous story about a storm in the Bible, and I think everybody probably knows it. So it's when Jesus was with his disciples on this body of water, and they're in this sea, and this ridiculous storm comes. Everybody's panicking. They're like, "Oh man, we're gonna die. We're gonna die. Look at this. This storm is crazy. We're on this water, in the middle of this water, and this major storm is coming. We're going to die." And they look and they see Jesus, and he's sleeping. And they're like, "I can't believe this guy he's sleeping, and we're about to die in this storm on this water." And they woke him up, and he looked at them like, "Man, y'all bugging." So he speaks to the storm, and he's like, "Peace, be still." And the storm just calms down. And it made me think wow, there's this turmoil going on, this literal storm going on, and he just wakes up. I'm just picturing this boat tossing and turning and flipping, flopping, everything's going on, and he's sleeping. You have the storm, that's enough ruckus by itself, but then you have these people, his disciples, they're panicking, so that's some more ruckus, and through all of that, he is out. He's just resting. And as soon as he made up his mind, I got victory over this storm. I'm stronger than this storm. This storm has no authority over me. I'm going to speak to it and tell this storm to chill out. And it's going to do what I say do. And we're going to be out of this storm. And he did that. Boom. He applied that peace to that storm. And that storm just chilled. And that also, makes me think of a saying or some quote or something I heard out there, probably on some social media, one of those motivational things when it speaks something about learning to dance in the storm. And I get that now. I understand that now. Just going over so many storms in my life, and recently I've been getting hit with storm after storm right back to back. I started to just either figure out, okay, either this storm is going to take me out or I'm going to learn to have peace in it. Because I feel like the more you get peace in that storm, the less scary the storm is, the less, threatening it is. And before long, it may be still storming, but you're not even looking at the storm. You have peace. And what happened when I started to really walk in peace in the storm, I was able to remain calm, relax, rest, and see clearly my way out of that storm. Because a lot of times in your life, you're going to go through things that seem so threatening. Things are going to come against you, and they're going to seem so threatening. It's like the valley of the shadow of death. Like it's going to really look like death. It's like the devil walks around like a lion. He's making noise like a lion, but he's not actually a lion. That's not actually death. It's the shadow. It's just something that it's an imitation of something threatening, but it's not really a threat. And once you remain calm and understand that, you'll know, okay, I see this thing. I don't like it. It's being noisy. And here's my way out of it. There's a time in the Bible where the prophet Elijah was just going through so much. I mean, just at his end where he wanted to die. And he found himself tucked away in a cave, just pleading with God, like, what is this? And then there was all this ruckus that came. There was an earthquake, and there was some other things, and there was all this loud, noisy stuff. And the Bible said God was not in those things. But then there was a still, small voice. See, he found victory in the still, small voice of God speaking to him. So once he got quiet, the ruckus was there, the storms are there, but you have to get quiet yourself. Because once you get quiet, you get at a place of peace, you can hear better, you can see better, you can think clearer. And that is going to get you out of that storm quicker. So whenever you're going through something in life, figure out a way to get calm. Whether you just sit there in the quiet, don't do anything. I mean, sometimes I'll find myself in a room, laying on the floor, just staring at the ceiling. I'll get on the floor. I don't know why, it just feels the best place for me. I'll get on the floor and I'll just stare at the ceiling. And whatever thoughts pop in my head, whatever goes on, I don't know. I just relax and let it happen. Sometimes I take a nap. Sometimes I go for a walk. Sometimes I get a coloring book and I color. But whatever I need to do to calm myself in that storm, and I may have to keep doing it until I'm fully walking in that peace and that calm. Then I can hear better, and I can start to process my way out. Because if I panic and I get loud with the storm, it's not gonna go over well, and it's gonna last longer than necessary. It's just if you are in, you're bumping heads with your spouse or with a friend or anybody. If one person starts yelling, Then the other person starts yelling. It's just a ball of confusion, and it's just gonna create more turmoil. But the Bible says a soft answer turns away wrath. Somebody's yelling, you remain calm, kind of brings it down, and you can deal with the storm, the issue, and resolve it quicker. So what I'm saying to you is when life storms come, do best. Have a plan because they're gonna come. They will show up. No matter who you are, there will be some kind of thing that's challenging you, coming against you. Figure out how to stay calm in a situation. And one way to do that is try to make a habit of having capacity in your life to deal with the extra nonsense that will come unexpectedly and most of the time at the wrong time. So if you build capacity to deal with the extra nonsense that's going to come, it'll help you have that much more energy to stay calm in the storm, to to have the correct perspective and see the way out of the storm. That's God engaged.